That's where we go to our very special reporter on the scene, because it is a special day today. Banyana Banyana coach Desiree Ellis announcing her final FIFA World Cup squad this evening. The tournament will take place in Australia and New Zealand next month. Banyana Banyana are making a second appearance at the global spectacle. We're joined by our sports reporter Thabiso Sithole, who is standing by at the Sefako Makgatho Presidential Guest House in Pretoria, and that's where the announcement will take place. Good evening, Thabiso. Thank you so much for joining us. As you can tell, Francis and I, the excitement is palpable. What is the atmosphere like here? What is the sense of anticipation like there for you and the rest of the team that's there?
Good evening, Zion. Good evening to our viewers on Full View. And yes, indeed, we're at the Presidential Guest House in Pretoria. As you can see, well, it's starting to happen behind me. The guests are starting to arrive. We've been here since, well, fairly early in the day. And I must tell you, the girls, Banyana Banyana themselves, the bus drove in about 5 minutes ago. All of those hoping and wishing to be in that, well, the final plane anyway, ride out to Australia, New Zealand, where, of course, history will be made. 32 teams competing at this World Cup. It's the first time that has happened. Banyana Banyana, as you rightfully said, Zai making their second appearance at the Women's FIFA World Cup. It's expected to be, I'm not going to use the word, we hate using this word, humdingers, but that's exactly what we hope Banyana Banyana can pull out on the field. And, of course, once you go to a World Cup, speaking to former Bafana captain Adam Gweda earlier today, saying, you know, it's easy to mock somebody if they have not qualified for major tournaments, but once you get there, anything is possible. And of course, alluding to the fact that Banyana Banyana could pull a quick one in the opening match. I think they play Sweden, and from then on, if they get those victories, anything is possible. We could possibly and hopefully see them qualify for the next round of competition. But the squad, as I look at the timetable, the squad, Desiree Ellis, coach Desiree Ellis, is expected to make that announcement of the final team. Will be getting their boarding passes to Australia and New Zealand around 7:20 later tonight. At around 7 o'clock, the Deputy Sports Minister will open proceedings. We're going to have all the dignitaries join the ladies out behind me. The red carpet has been rolled out. Unfortunately, we can't show what the room looks like as yet. But for our viewers, it's expected to be quite a spectacle, so do stay tuned. It's one to look forward to indeed, Si.
Thabiso, now for Coach Desiree Ellis, this is an extremely difficult process for her. And you've been in the Banyana camp before. You've had chats and in-depth analysis of what's happening with Coach Ellis when it comes to her selection process. What do you think she'll provide, if you can, some insights into her selection process could be?
Well, you can never have enough insights into what a coach decides or what they're thinking, because it also depends, I guess, on what the mood is and what the kind of opposition you'll be faced with. But the one thing about Desiree Ellis, she's not shy to leave the so-called tried and tested on the bench and go with the young girls. But she's also got the aptitude to have a good balance across the board. The likes of Makgatho, I think, might be in the squad. I do not know. We do know that Janine van Wyk, of course, is injured. So she has not been, well, in fact, she was not even in camp. And Janine van Wyk, former Banyana Banyana captain. But I did see Refila Jana earlier. So once again, the big names are here. But whether they all make the squad, I'm not quite sure. It's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? You put him in the spot here. But I'll tell you what, Zai, when you come back to me, I'm actually going to have one of our SABC sports commentators and analysts who will go in depth with regards to that. Because at the end of the day, like I'm saying, you know, competitions are tough. You could be at your best form going into a game, but you cannot be your best form for a match, for example. Sometimes you don't choose a team you know, looking at and who's the best in that position. Sometimes you choose a team on combinations. If Zai and Thabiso work well against Chloe and Simon, then of course your A team is going to be Zai and Thabiso, and that's why you and I are on air tonight, Zai.